Yeah,
Shell? Okay.
that's what everybody knows me by.
All right. So we are live. Hello, everyone who's tuning in from around the world. I want to welcome you to the Voice of Her. This is such an amazing initiative that is brought to you today by Soul Lady Wigs, where we women can gather, discuss ideas, trends, what's happening to us, to our families, in society around us. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. This is just the first of many conversations that will be brought to you in this series. My name is Marshana Dahlia Spavento. I am so excited to be your host of The Voice of Her. And I want to all to meet a very, very special lady, our very beautiful soul lady. She is our very, very first guest on The Voice of Her. Everybody, please give a big warm welcome to Shell.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Oh, I am so thrilled, and I this is my second opportunity to host a conversation with Soul Lady Wigs, and it means so much to me to be here. And I thank you for being our first guest. Shell, why don't you take just a couple of moments to introduce yourself to our audience? What are you known for? What do you do? What do you represent? How can our audience best identify who Shell is?
Well, like you said, I'm Shell. My full name is Michelle Johnson. And my husband and I, we have a page on Facebook. It's called Real Life with Al and Shell. And it's our page is called the Ministry of Entertainment. We just show our lives, and I got into it. It just kind of happened. I kind of stumbled onto doing hair videos, and then my hair videos just took off, and so that's kind of what I'm known for. Is hair, different styles, mainly crochet styles, wigs. Um, I've even dabbled in doing makeup, and basically it's just talking about and sharing my life.
I absolutely love that, Shell, because the term influencer gets tossed around a lot, and people maybe see influencers as only a certain age or a certain
Right.
demographic, or they've boxed what it means to be an influencer. But from how you describe yourself, your work, your channel, the things you talk about, makeup, beauty, hair, that's not something that necessarily people would see for someone in our Silver Sisters group. How do you feel about that?
Exactly. I am loving it, Marshana. I am loving it because I think women our age, as we get older, sometimes we see the younger ladies, coming in, and we may not feel like we fit in,
Mhm.
fit in anymore, and it is just so not true. And I just love being able to empower other women, and just let them know they're not alone, because we face so many challenges,
Mm,
today, with home, work, family, just even loneliness,
mm,
depression,
mm,
and fear of getting older and looking older, and
mm,
you just
mm.
never know. You just never
Right.
know what challenges that somebody is smiling through, and so I think it's important, especially talks like this. I really think it's important that we let women know that, hey, you are not alone in this struggle.
Oh, absolutely. And I love that because in so many ways, Shell, you're breaking down a lot of stereotypes. Stereotypes that people might feel about gray hair or fashion or what we should or shouldn't wear at after a certain age. That's always the thing. Like, oh, you shouldn't wear,
Right,
a skirt
right,
above your knees after this age, and
right,
you're not supposed to do. How do you feel about
right.
buying stereotypes in fashion, beauty, makeup, hair? How do you feel about that?
You know what? It's so funny. I have people all the time come up to me, especially when I wear my wigs. They'll say, "Well, man, I wish I could do that." And
Mm,
I always say, "You can." I mean, you can't let what other people think, dictate what you do. And I just don't let what other people say or do dictate what I do. I just do what I feel like doing, what makes me feel good about myself. If once I started going gray, I'll be honest with you, I was a little unhappy because at the time
Mm.
I was in the 10th grade when I started to gray.
Oh,
so
wow.
so I've been living with gray hair for a long time.
Did you
So,
say 10th grade? I just want to make sure I heard that right, because maybe my ears weren't working. They're kind of small.
no, ma'am, no, ma'am, you heard exactly right. 10th
Oh my
grade, I
goodness.
started getting my first strings of gray hair. And of course, when you're a teenager, you're like, oh no. So then when I
Right.
got, of course, I started coloring my hair then.
Hmm.
And just doing, had made a lot of mistakes. I've had a lot of different colors, some on purpose, some by accident. but
Wow.
but I just think it's so important to just be you. Like I said, I've had all kinds of colors, and even when colors weren't even in, then. And it's just, I just like being myself. I always like to stand out. I don't like to be like everybody else, like the
Hmm.
crowd. And I have so many, ladies that will tell me, man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. You can. Is it you just do it. You just do it. When I put on my first wig, and I had a head full of hair. My mom would always say, why do you always cover up all of that beautiful hair? And I was like, well, it's not the issue of covering it up. It's just being versatile, because that's one of the things, about, being able to wear wigs is you can just do so many different things. You can have so many different looks.
Absolutely. And it gives so much versatility. And again, it's not something just for 20 somethings or 30 somethings, or just for people with hair loss like myself. Many people watching might know that I have been diagnosed with alopecia. And even before the diagnosis, wigs were just a form of self expression. And I am
Yes.
not gray, with the hair that I have left. I have just a couple of gray hairs. And I have to search to find them. And when I say a couple, I literally mean like one or two.
Oh,
But sorry, the look of gray, just silver, platinum hair to
mhm.
me it screams sophistication. It just,
Yes,
or
I
maybe it doesn't
agree.
even scream it. It just whispers. If
That's
you
it.
walk into a room with a head full of silver and it really,
Yes.
really just
Right. It's
does
a
something.
showstopper. It's a
I
showstopper.
mean, I tell you, I wear this wig outside, and this, of course, is a fabulous 20-inch human hair wig from Soul Lady Wigs that I
It's
absolutely adore.
gorgeous.
Thank you so much. It is
It is
like one of my
gorgeous.
faves. And it turns heads. This is the milkshake that brings all the boys or grown men actually to the yard. You won't
There
get a
you
boy.
go.
If you want a grown man, ladies, you want some dating advice, what you can do? You just wear yourself a silver wig and you will only attract grown men. There, I said it.
Exactly.
Free
You said
game.
it. That's it. I know I had a young lady at church one day, and I did at one point, not too long ago, since a few months ago. I said, you know what? I said, I think I'm going to color my hair again because there were some styles that I wanted to try, and I did. I colored it, and I was sitting in the pew at church, and she walks past me. Well, she's getting ready to walk right past me, and then she stopped and doubled back, and she's like, "Wait a minute, did you color your hair?" And I was like, yeah. She was like, no. She was like, oh no. She was like, oh, but it was so beautiful. And then I started to regret it. And I told
Oh,
her, I said, well, don't worry, because my hair grows extremely fast. I said, it'll be right back in a couple of weeks. And it
right.
was. It
Well,
was
but
right back.
but speaking of wigs, how do you see wigs as a form of your self-expression? How do you see that? Because I see you're wearing a very, very popular, very, very trendy style right now. Every single body has the boho braids, and I see you're rocking the boho braided wig from Soul Lady Wigs. How do you feel about
Yes.
trying a style that is again, super popular, not as popular for our silver sisters. But how do you feel about bringing your own sense of style with this wig in such a very popular, very trendy style?
Well, I had seen this style across social media, and but I did not see it in silver. And I was like, "Oh wow, I would love to try that." I said I would love to try that because I've done the boho braids before, I've done the boho crochet hair before, and when I came across, and Soul Lady, and I saw Soul Lady had it in the silver, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have to try this. I have to try it because that's just my color. That's just what I'm really into right now, and I absolutely love it. And that's one thing I can say about Soul Lady Wigs. It's just amazing, the quality. The quality. It's so lightweight and versatile, and it's just so soft, and I was extremely excited. And that's one thing I really like about Soul Lady Wigs is because I can I can be me. It helps me to be me because I can try. They have so many different styles, and I can just be me, whatever I'm feeling like that day, because I like to change a lot. And it saves on the work too, because hair is a lot of work. When you're doing your hair, it's a lot of work. And it makes me feel so good to just be able to wake up and be like, let me see, what do I want to look like today? Or whatever kind of, whatever function that I'm going to, whatever event I'm going to. I get to easily choose my look.
And I love that you say that you get to choose and that you're really in this ownership space of how you choose to present yourself to the world. And I think it takes a lot of self confidence to do
Yeah.
that, where you're moving away from feeling like you have to please everyone else, dress for everyone else, follow
Yeah.
the imaginary rules. How did you find your way to such a level and such a degree of self confidence that you feel that you can express yourself any way you want?
You know what? It actually started a long, long time ago. I just remember even when I was a little girl, my mom was always so fashionable. I mean, she always at the time I didn't know as a little girl, but as I grew up, and look back, and I'm like, wow, mom was always on top of everything, on top of the trends, and then when I became a little bit older, my older sister, she's 10 years older than I am, and I don't even know if she even remembers it or even realized
Mm.
it. But I always wanted to be like her. She'd be in the bathroom putting on her makeup, doing her hair, and I would just sit there and watch. And I learned a lot. And I always wanted to be like her. She was homecoming queen and cheerleader, and so I followed right behind in her footsteps. I was homecoming queen and cheerleader, and it's like I just had those models like that to look up to and try to emulate. And then as I got older, I just felt like bold that way. I've just always been that way, never wanted to conform,
Mhm.
and just be different.
Wow, I love hearing that because for many women, there's almost like a moment where they can pinpoint where they felt it kind of snap or the light came on. I hear a lot of women say it happens for them after the age of 40, where they really just stop caring and they stop trying to conform. But I love kind of how you put it there, that you've always been that girl. You've always kind of looked up to and emulated the women who felt very free to march to the beat of their own drum, and you've always had it. But what would you say to fellow women out there, our fellow Silver sisters or not, who might be struggling just a little bit to kind of get to that point where they give themselves permission?
Well, I had that. It's like I said, I've always been that way. But when life happens, when after I got married and I started having children and going back to college and starting a career, after a while I kind of, I changed for a period. There was a period in my life where I changed because it was all about, the kids and the family and taking care of the house. And, it's just got to the point where I stopped focusing on me. And it happens, even though I've always been that way. When life starts to happen, you can change. And I did. And after the kids, got grown and I, I s- I got to a point where even at one point where I was really, really depressed. I had gained an extreme amount of weight.
Mm,
I
mm,
was at my heaviest, I was 224 pounds. And I was miserable. I was miserable because I got to the point where I was doing everything for everyone but me. And I was always putting myself last. And to the point where I started to feel depressed. And then menopause hit.
oh,
And then
girl,
that made it even
girl.
worse. It made it even worse. But I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I was tired of being sick and tired. I was tired of
Mm,
hurting. I was tired of hurting all the time. I was tired of not sleeping. I was tired of being swollen all the time. And, I even got to the point where I was embarrassed going out in public. And
mm,
I just got tired and I put my foot down and I got to looking at old pictures of me when I was younger and I was like, what happened to that person? How do I get back to that person? And it was a slow process, but once I made up in my mind, you just have to make up in your mind. You just have to, it's really a mind changing thing. You have to change how you think about things. And with me, it was a lot of prayer. It was a lot of prayer. I don't, I'm not ashamed of that at all. You know, Yahuwah up above, he just really blessed me and answered my prayers and it was just a constant, just constant daily, change me. I want to get back to me.
yeah, no, and I can see that this is resonating with our viewers right now who are tuning in live. So thank you so much. We're a young lady.
Oh, I see she froze.
Are we there?
Oh,
My
okay.
my screen had gone out for a second.
Okay. I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, I was saying I can tell that that really resonated with the April had just shared that that's something that she's felt this way before. And I, are we back? Ooh, sorry, technical difficulties. See, this is what happens when we have live program. Things
Right.
happen on live TV, y'all. So thank you for
Exactly.
sticking with it.
Exactly.
Um, but what I oh, are we going again? Am I freezing or can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're freezing up a little bit, but I can hear you.
On screen, man. Okay, I don't know what's up with my. It might be my internet connection. I don't know. Um, but if you can hear me, I'm going to keep going. But a lot of women are. It's not even that they're last on the list. They're not on the list. They don't. They don't.
Right.
They're not even there. They haven't done anything for themselves, and they live a life of service. And a life of service is a beautiful thing and a wonderful thing. And
Yes.
we serve our families. We serve our children. I don't want to negate any of that. But we
Mhm.
also have to, we say it, but I think we have to learn more to live that you can't pour from an empty cup,
That's
you
right.
know?
That's right.
And there's this idea of perfection, but I always say that done is better than perfect. So
Hmm.
letting go of that perfection anxiety and just getting things done. Yeah, you might not be able to do the workout perfectly, but get it done, right? You might not
Exactly.
get the outfit perfect the first time, but put it on, and just being able
Right.
to let go of that. Because I think true beauty is about being happy and not being perfect. We've all seen a woman who was a knockout, a 10 out of 10, anything, good skin, good teeth, good hair, good body, good health. But because she wasn't happy, she wasn't beautiful, because
Yeah.
the inside was like just
Right.
tearing her down. We've all seen it. So it's not always about how we look. It's about being happy.
Exactly, exactly. And just start. Just start. People say, "Well, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start." Make a list of the things that you would like to change about you, or things that you would like to have, or things that you would like to see for yourself. And don't try to do it all at once. just
Mm.
just just start. Just take one thing at a time. The little small milestones, just start. If you feel like you're a person that you may just start with your makeup. And say, well, I'm not, I'd like to wear makeup. I don't really know how to put it on. uh, just get a tube of lipstick. Get a tube of gloss. Put some gloss on. Just start small, but just start somewhere, and then you'll find yourself. You're like, "Hey, well, hey, I can do this." I cannot tell you how many times it took me to get these eyebrows straight.
Okay.
I mean, just you just have to try. Just try. I mean, how long it took me to get my eyelashes on. And you just have to just try. Just try. Just work on it. Don't give up. Just don't give
And I
up.
think that's the thing. I think people are scared to go outside with the crooked eyebrows. But like you said, it took me a long time to get these eyebrows. I think people see you, Shell, and they see me online and they say, she needs to teach me how to do her eyebrows just like how she does her eyebrows. And if
Right.
only they knew, this is like 20 plus years of crooked eyebrows, one eyebrow being higher than the other,
Right.
bad
Right.
eyebrow waxes, over
Right.
tweezing, under
Right.
tweezing,
Right.
shaving, nothing.
Yeah. Trying to get the
So
color match right.
finding the right product, and then you find a product that you like, and then they discontinue
And
it,
they
you know,
discontinue it. That's it.
or they
Yep.
discontinue the color. So it's an
Yep.
evolution. And I think people are scared to wear the crooked eyebrows, but you got to start, and they might be crooked at first, but the only way to
Right.
get to the straight eyebrows is year over
Right.
year. You learn your
Right.
face, you
Right.
learn who you
Right.
are, and your face
Ex-
is going to change with age,
exactly.
and then you adjust the technique. But you
Yep.
just, to
Yep.
your point, Shell, you got
Right.
to get started.
Exactly. Remember, they're supposed to be sisters and not twins.
Not
That's
twins, not twins. But thank you so much for sharing that. I want to ask you, because something that you're known for most online are your hair tutorials. And as a wiganista like myself, I want to ask you, Shell, because you are a treasure trove of information on this subject, about wig tips. Everybody wants to know, how do I prep the wig? How do I put the wig on? What do you use to
right.
keep the wig? What's going on with the wigs, Shell?
Right.
Let us know. How do you prep your
Right.
wigs?
Look, the most important thing is shampooing and conditioning. Okay. Shampooing and conditioning that wig is going to make it last a lot longer. And there's a way that you can't shampoo it like you do your own hair. Okay. No squeezing and wringing and twisting and all of that. But my routine is that I'll get a big large bowl, and I'll put my warm water, lukewarm water, not hot water, not super cold water, just
Hmm.
lukewarm water. And I pour my shampoo in, and swish it around in the water, and then lay my wig in it, and just
Mhm.
press it down. Just press it down. No twisting, turning, wringing. Just press it
Yeah.
down, and then just give it a good rinse, and then get a good conditioner, a really good conditioner, and do the same thing. I usually let it sit about 2 to 3 minutes in the conditioner, and then give it a good rinse. And if you are wearing wigs, please get you a wig head. Please get it. You would be surprised how many people I talk with. They were like, "Oh, I don't have a wig head."
Mm-mm,
I was like, "What?
mm-mm.
No, oh, I just put it in a Ziploc plastic Ziploc bag, And I'm like, I'm like, no, get a wig head to keep your wigs on so it'll keep the shape. And so I put it on when I'll put a towel over my wig head, and then I'll put the wig on it and always let it air dry. I let it
Mm.
air dry. And it depends on what kind of hair that you have. I know, like with my curly wigs, after after I put it on the wig head, while it's wet, I'll put my leave-in conditioner on it. And I have to, and people always say, well, what do you use? What do you use? And I just happen to have my trusty
Okay.
shampoo here. Yeah, this has been, now I have tried a lot of products. I mean,
Done it
a
all.
lot of products. You have to find what's, because people always say, well, what do you use? What do you use? You have to find what works for you. Everybody's different, everybody likes something different. But this is amazing. It's called New Grow. It's their rejuvenating shampoo. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's not stripping. It doesn't make it feel dry. And then I'll always use their leave-in conditioner. Now I'll put that on my wig, and then with the curly wigs, I use it's real it's it really inexpensive. You don't have to have expensive products either. This extreme gel, you see, it's almost gone. But the extreme gel, it doesn't take much at all, just a little bit, and just run it through. It almost like it locks in the curls, and without being hard and crunchy. Some gels you can put on and it's really hard and crunchy. But it's not at all. Matter of fact, I shampooed and conditioned this wig yesterday, um, and put the gel on, and it's still soft, it's bouncy,
And
it's
I
really
love
good.
that because with the boho braided style, I would be so cautious about washing it because I would think that I am going to destroy these braids. But look at your
Yeah,
wig,
look,
it's
not
still
with
so
Soul Lady.
good.
No, ma'am. Look, not with Soul Lady. You don't have to worry about that.
And let me tell you something about my Soul Lady wigs. I was listening to how you described how you care for your wigs and how you wash them and you're really gentle. Now I am gentle with the wig when I wash it and condition it, but let me tell you something. I put my Soul Lady wigs on my wig head, pin them down, and these wigs get blown out with the heat.
Yes. Yes.
And when I'm ready to give these hair a blowout, and I blow it with the heat, I flat iron it, I curl it, I treat it like real hair because guess what, ladies and gentlemen, it is real hair. It
Real
is real
hair.
human hair.
Mhm.
And I have a wig drobe filled with wigs from Soul Lady hair, and they have I even wigs that I bought from Soul Lady that are curly, I
Mhm.
will flat iron those wigs, blow it out, straighten it, and you wouldn't even know it was the same wig. So
Uh-huh.
I'm
Yep.
I'm not I'm not rough, but I'm actually not that delicate because I will take the blow dryer straight to it. And you should see me. It's like I'm running
Uh-huh.
a hair salon, you know.
You're exactly right. Because when with the curly, when you just like your real hair, I get my paddle brush and I start at the ends, and I'm like you said, I'm not real, real delicate with it. You gotta untangle. You have to detangle, and
Yeah.
it does not hurt these wigs at all.
At all. And that's what you get when you're shopping with a quality wig brand that you can trust, that's giving you 100% human hair that is coming
Exactly.
out of the box ready to go. And I think that's another thing that people at least always ask me. They're like, what do you do? What do you do? How do you, oh, the hairline. I have never bought or received a Soul Lady wig and had to tweeze a hairline, perform surgery.
Surgery.
third degree surgery on the wig. And honestly, it's almost a little bit deceptive from a lot of young ladies online who will show a wig, and I'm not blaming the ladies, but it's almost a little bit deceptive where they show a wig, but they've already done so much post-mortem work to the wig that it's a different wig. There's a different
Yes.
way. I can sit here on this live and tell everyone watching, honestly, this is how this wig came out
Yep.
of the box. It's a
Yes.
13x4 wig out of the box. I am not an installer of wigs because of my alopecia diagnosis. And, I have frontal fibrosing alopecia. I am not about to glue, paste, stamp anything onto my head.
Okay.
And people think that I'm going to sit here and do this whole hairline, and they feel the pressure to. But here's something I'm going to share with everybody at home. You don't need to. This 13x4 inch wig, it y'all see this?
Mhm.
You don't need glue. You
I'm
don't
right
need
there.
glue.
Look, right there with you.
Right there. And I think people get so caught up on like, oh, I got to get the air tabs. I got to do this. I focus just a little bit of hairspray right around like about to right here. Little
Okay.
bit,
Yep.
not a lot.
Yep.
And it's simple. The lace
It
came
is.
pre-trimmed.
Mhm.
It literally the only thing I do is I will have to tint the lace. And I think everybody has to tint the lace depending on what tone you are.
Right. Right.
And my tip and trick for tinting the lace on a very light gray wig, like this one is to take a brush, dip the brush into whatever you're using to tint the wig. The wig is inside out, and you're going to paint onto the
Okay.
inside of the wig rather than spraying directly on because it's going to tint the hair. You want to keep whatever you're using off of the hair. And I highly, 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 highly discourage using powders to tint because as you're using the brush inside of the wig to do the powder escapes through the lace and stains the hair.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm
Oh, okay.
saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So
Now that's
yeah, just
interesting. That's
yeah, so
interesting.
I like to use a liquid. It's a tinted wig spray, and I put it in the cap and I dip the brush in like an eyeshadow brush and then I go underneath and I'm Picasso under there. I'm painting.
Oh, wow. Well, that's good to know because that's one thing. I guess because of my color, that's something I've never had to do
You don't
with
have to
their
tint.
wig. I don't have to
Right.
tint. And that's one thing that I really, really like. I was like, ooh, I was like, I don't have to tint. I don't have to tint this. I was like, ooh, yay.
And this is why I really recommend just again the wigs. Some Shell can wear hers out the box. I do have to tint a little bit, but that is the only work I am willing to do. If there is a wig that requires me to do more than tint, I'm out.
Right.
Tap out. Tap out.
Well, I see here there's someone named Miss Honey Thomas. She has a question.
Yes, please bring it to the
Um,
floor. I see. I think I see her question as well.
yeah, she says, do hormonal changes affect natural texture? Mm, let's see, like I guess when we're talking about menopause. Yes. Yes, ma'am. I've noticed a huge
Mm.
change in in the texture of my hair. And I had kind of uh like a double whammy because I lost 71 pounds when I did a total lifestyle change. I lost 71 pounds, and anyone that has lost a lot of weight like that, it does affect your hair. You'll have thinning, you'll have hair loss. And then I was going through menopause on top of that. And I did have some changes in my texture. My hair used to be really soft. It was really, people would say, oh, your hair is so thick. It wasn't really thick. I just had a lot of strands, but the strands themselves were soft
Okay.
and thin. But I noticed I started having a lot of hair shedding and thinning, and I'm just thankful that I'm one of those women who my hair grows fast. But I noticed right here at my temples at one point I was almost completely bald, like right here in these two spots. And I just started to read. I started to read up on things that I could do, and I amped up my B12, my vitamins, and my B12, my biotin, and just keeping up with my exercise. And you just really, really have to uh, well, thank you, my hubby assistant.
Oh,
These are the ones that I take. I take two B12 tablets every day. I put my collagen powder. I put 2 scoops of collagen powder in my coffee every morning. So there are some things that you can do, because it's really from the inside out. A lot of people, they want to constantly put stuff, on your hair, on your scalp, but your inside, taking care of your body on the inside, drinking plenty of water, getting plenty of protein in your diet, your vegetables, all of that makes a difference too, and it really, really does help.
I love that. You're so right. Nutrition matters. What we put in our bodies and on our bodies really matters so much. I really agree. I also see Janelle says, I've gotten into the drawstring human hair wigs and they're ready to wear. And guess what? The wig I'm wearing from Soul Lady today has a drawstring. You can see it
Yes.
right here in the back. This is what's
Yes.
going to help you get that really secure fit because in addition to combs, in addition to the band, that drawstring is going to really secure that fit. And it makes it so you need less glue or no glue, less hairspray or very little at all. You can wear it completely glueless and feel very secure within your fit. I don't
Right.
have a lot of existing hair underneath because of the alopecia diagnosis. So I need a wig that's gonna grip. It's
Right.
gotta grip.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay.
Right.
I think for the women who wear a wig over their existing hair, the hair almost provides like something for the wig to kind of, there's a little bit
Right.
something to hold on to.
Right.
Not much to hold on to underneath my wigs.
Right.
So I do
So you
appreciate a
need
good
some
drawstring.
security.
Yeah,
You
it
need to
gives
have
that
that
extra
security.
security. Oh, well, listen, Shell, thank you so much for joining the Voice of Her today. And before we wrap up, I just wanted to see if you have any last words of encouragement, advice, something you want to say, maybe a question I haven't asked you. Is there anything else you have for our Silver sisters out there?
I just want every lady that's watching, who can hear me, please be yourself. Don't let anybody talk you into or out of doing anything. Be bold, be you. I mean, there's nothing like being you and doing what you want. And it's really freeing. It is really freeing. And I want everybody to have that confidence. Just like I said, just take baby steps. Start with one thing, and just you would be surprised. You would be surprised when you start with that one thing. One thing turns into two, turns into 10, turns into 50, and you will eventually you will just absolutely love yourself. And when you love yourself, that's going to show, and everybody around you will be able to see it. And I just and they'll love it as well. And I would just like for everybody to just follow me on Facebook. It's at Real Life with Al and Shell, and also on all the other social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and let's just enjoy this journey together.
I absolutely love that, Shell. And you know what? I thought of one last question that I have for you. I'm sure our audience has a lot of questions, but I forgot because it slipped over my head because y'all know I'm this close to being bald. But for the rest of the ladies out there, who do have hair, how do you keep your hair underneath your wigs? That's my last question. And then I promise I'm going to
Oh,
let you go.
yes, yes. Oh, yeah, that is so important. Protective styles, we like to call them. It it doesn't matter if you have a wig, it doesn't matter if you wear your crochet hair. You have to protect your natural hair. Okay. And I can't say it enough. Moisture, moisture, moisture. I mean, it's, not to don't use products that are stripping. You don't have to. I know back in the day, we were always like, oh, we want a routine of shampooing your hair every 2 weeks. Do not shampoo your hair that often. You don't have to shampoo it that often. I usually shampoo my hair about once a month, once a month and a half, but I do every weekend. Now, I'm saying shampoo, but in between time, like weekly, when I get in the shower, I'll put my head under the shower and water is the best moisture. Water is the best. I soak my hair with water. I'll scrub my scalp and everything. Water is cleansing. Water is moisturizing. And I will do that. And then I'll still put on my leave-in conditioner. And then however you want to, sometimes I'll braid my hair down. Sometimes I'll twist it. Sometimes I'll plait it, and let it air dry. Um, and some people, yeah, I'll cornrow sometimes, but some people, everybody can't cornrow.
No.
But you don't have to. You don't have to. You can use plaits. You can use twist, and there is I cannot. This is my friend right here. This is my
Mm,
friend. New Grow's Moisturizer Plus is their spray. I use this spray literally, I kid you not, every single day. I spray it down. I spray my natural hair down every single day. It has worked wonders wearing my wigs. I've been wearing my Soul Lady headband wig for the past 3 weeks to work. And that's my routine. I will wake up in the morning before I put my wig on. I'll put my moisturizer spray on it, and then I'll put a little stocking cap on, and then I'll put my wig on. It keeps my hair moisturized underneath that wig because you don't want to have drying. Once you start having drying, you're going to have shedding and you're going to have hair loss. So I can't say that enough. Keep your hair moisturized, not with a lot of oils, not with a lot of heavy oils, but just a good moisturizer, a good moisturizing spray. And I do that. I do that daily, and it has worked wonders. All of that with the routine, with the inside, working on my inside with my vitamins. And now I wish I could show you. All my hair has grown back in
I
those.
love that. Oh,
I,
that is so inspiring. As someone with a scarring alopecia diagnosis, that is just like the best news ever. My hair is always in a low ponytail, but the ponytail is very small. There's not much hair, and I always wear a wig cap. I can't even imagine not having a wig cap
yeah,
underneath it all to keep
yeah,
my hair safe. And this is
yeah,
why I really, really enjoy working with Soul Lady, wearing their wigs, and having the partnership that we've been able to forge because I can close my eyes on the Soul Lady website, scroll around and pick any wig there. And I know that it is going to work for me. It's going to
yep,
be high quality. I
yes,
heard somebody ask in the chat earlier if you have to wash the wig before you wear it, and I've never had to do that. They arrive perfectly fine, styled, pre-plucked, pre-bleached, and ready to go. So
yeah.
it
You're
makes such a
absolutely
difference.
right. Hmm.
It makes
You're
such a
absolutely
difference
right.
because it's not just only what we're doing underneath our wigs, and that is so important, but it's also about wearing high quality wigs that are made from genuine materials. It matters. It absolutely matters.
It does, and I am a living witness. They hold up with the shampooing and the conditioning, and like you said, the detangling and everything. I mean, you just cannot go wrong with Soul Lady Wigs. And I've tried a lot of brands. I've worn a lot of brands, and like you said, I'm up to, I think I have about 5 or 6 of them now, and you just, like you said, you can't go wrong. I mean, when you put it on, it's literally ready to wear. Of course, you might want to style it to fit your face or however you like to wear it. But like you said, it's they really come ready to wear. And I really like their I like I like the way they care about women.
Mm.
It's not just about selling a product. It's they really do care about women. And that's the one thing that I really like about Soul Lady.
Oh, I have to agree. It's a very, very well rounded brand that looks at women as more than just beauty or two-dimensional. We're 3D. They look at the whole totality of a woman, both outside and inside. And I think that they see the wigs and products that they offer. Well, I know that they see the wigs and products that they offer as just another form of self-expression that the woman will bring to life and bring her own personality and charm to. And it's so beautiful, from their initiative back in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month and launching this very first series of the year, The Voice of Her, and to give us a platform for our voices and our stories. So, of course, we want to thank you, Soul Lady, for organizing this wonderful evening tonight. We want to thank
Yeah.
all of you at home for tuning into this amazing conversation. Shell, I want to thank you for being our very first guest on The Voice of Her.
Oh, I
It was,
thank you so much for having me. It has been a blast.
yes. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your transparency and honesty. And until next time, everyone, take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.
I don't know how to end the live.